Okay, guys. So I was here. I had to interrupt the recording. Sorry. And well, we were talking about how to get the angle of a line by knowing its slope. Okay, that's about it. Now, it may get a little. Look, I'm gonna leave this diagram right there. All of this, I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay, and now I'm gonna tell you how to get the same angle for a line which goes in this direction, a line that has a negative slope. For example, this one. Okay, this line, which I can call line 2, has a negative slope. And what is its angle? Its angle is this one. This is the angle 2. So you may think, okay, what do I do in this case? Because the angle of this line is out, it's kind of like outside the triangle. Okay, so you may get confused here. So what do? Okay, you do the same. You pick 2 points. This is point 1. This is point 2. Now I'm choosing. Um, this is point 2. Okay, and it's the same, guys. This is the rise. In this case, it's going downwards. Okay, we're going downwards. It's a negative rise, so to speak. And the run always goes to the right. Okay, you always think of the run as going to the right. Okay, so as you can see, this little triangle that got formed in here contains the angle of the line. And in this case, the triangle that I can form with the rise and the run doesn't contain the angle of the line. You see, this is the angle outside, but that's not a problem. What you can do is this, guys. Find me this angle. Let's call this whatever, theta. If you can find this angle, you see, now what you can get is the angle 2, okay, by simple trigonometry, because you know that the angle theta plus the angle 2 is equal to 180. So if you know theta, then you can get the angle 2. So that's going to be the approach. When you have this type of line with a negative slope, first find this angle inside, and then by this simple equation, you can get the angle 2. Okay, and how do I find this angle inside, theta? Well, very similarly as before, what you have is the rise and the run, right? Because that's what the slope means. So the slope is rise over run, and the tangent of this angle will be equal to the rise over run. But just make sure of this, guys. Uh, make sure when you have this case, make sure to make the slope positive, because the slope in here will be negative. Okay, make it positive, and that's one of those things that I'm not gonna explain to you why, because I don't want this lesson to be that long. I could, trust me, I could. I just don't want to make the lesson too long. So when you're doing this type of thing, okay, getting the angles by means of the slope, just put the slope as positive, okay, whether it's actually positive, like in this case, or negative, like in this case, okay, just take the absolute value of the slope and perform the calculations. And so it's going to be the same. Theta is going to be equal to the inverse tangent of the slope. Well, the absolute value of the slope. It goes without explanation. Remember, this is the absolute value of the slope. Just do it. Okay, just do it. Try to understand why though. And if you are really, really, really curious, I can make a bonus for you, a bonus video. Okay, now that we know this, all of this stuff, and all of this. we can get down to the example. Okay, so I want to find the angle between these two lines. Line 1 is going to be y equals to x minus 1, and line 2 will be y equals x plus 3. Okay, what do we do? It's always a good idea to draw a little sketch about the following. You're gonna you're gonna see. So the first thing is this: find the point of intersection. These lines are gonna be intersecting, right? Somehow. Okay, line 1, line 2, maybe they look like this, and they're gonna be intersecting. And by the way, what do we mean by the angle between these two lines? We mean this angle, guys. Okay, we mean the smallest angle that they make, because whenever two lines intersect one another, they make two different angles, this one and this other. They are different, right? And so which one is it? Which one is the one that we know as the angle between two lines? It's always the smallest, in this case theta. And we can find that angle if we know, let me call this line 1, line 2. Remember, what is this? This is the angle of line 1, and this is the angle of line 2. Okay, we can always find theta by means of the angles of the lines. Okay, assuming that you can find the angles, which I told you how to do it a moment ago. Assuming you can find these angles, then you can find the angle between the two intersecting lines, which is this one. How do you do that? You do the following. First, label this type of triangle is going to be formed. This is the point of intersection, and then you're gonna be forming a triangle that rests on top of the x-axis, or that it's like below the x-axis, like so. Okay, either on top or below. Okay, in this case, let me suppose it's this way. And so what you have to do is this: make use of this little angle right here. Let's call it angle 3. And if you notice, guys, since this angle and this angle are separated by a vertex, they are the same. So this little angle right here is also theta. Okay, now in this triangle, guys, we have three angles, which is theta plus a2 plus a3, and the sum of the angles inside a triangle is always 180 degrees, right? Theta plus a2 plus a3 is equal to 180. And also, the angle 1 plus the angle 3, by simple geometry, is 180 degrees, because it's half a turn. When you add these two angles, that's half a turn, and that's also 180. So let's combine these two equations. If this is equal to 180 and this is also equal to 180, that means that we can write this equation like that. We have a3 in both sides. We can do this, and therefore we can get that theta plus a2 equals a1, or in other words, theta equals a1 minus a2. And there you have it, guys. This is how you calculate the angle between the lines, which, I repeat, is the smallest angle, in this case theta, if you know each of the angles of the two lines. So it's basically getting the angles of the lines and subtracting them, and that's about it. So maybe I don't have to go into that. I was gonna work out the whole example. Try to do it on your own, and if you can't, we can discuss it. Okay, so that's how you do it. You find the angle of the line 1, you find this angle, you find this other angle, and the difference of them is gonna be the angle between the two intersecting lines. That's the general idea, and I'm gonna stop it right there.